He serves as the superintendent of Catholic schools for the Diocese of Salina. He converted to Catholicism in 2006 and is a parishioner of St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, along with his wife Valerie and their son. Wow. So thank you for being here again.
Yeah,
Really
thank you
love
for
it.
having me. Love coming out here.
Yeah. So
And
go
I
ahead.
won the book.
Nice.
There you go. So
Nice.
did my donation when I came in and happened to be the next one up. So
Very
I'm
nice.
excited to get back and look at this. So thank you to our sponsors, the Hayes Memorial Chapel, for providing that.
Yes, absolutely. They are such good donors. They give often. So very, very nice.
We've got
have
just
that.
very generous people around the diocese, whether it's helping out our schools or our parishes or Catholic radio. I mean, it's awesome to be as part of this community.
I agree. I
So.
agree. I'm just so impressed with the generosity over and over again of the listeners. It's truly, and the fact that they can operate on $9.60 an hour per station just blows me away.
That is crazy. We try to be efficient in Catholic schools as well. We're not $9.66 an hour. Actually, I've never broken it down per hour. I can break it down by student, elementary student and high school student. We do, pretty efficient with what we do. So I'm going to break it down by hour and see what I can get to.
There you go.
So I do know per student per year, if we were to average it all out, it's about $7,500 to educate a kid in our schools.
Wow.
Secondary, elementary schools are a little bit less, and our secondary schools are a little bit more. So when you average, we're about $7,500. But yeah, I'm going to divide that by our hours when I get back.
Lower.
We probably are.
Exactly. Well, and if you compare that to our public schools who get all the government funding, you know, right? That's where our tax dollars go. And yet we have to then, pay to put our kids in Catholic school as well. But it's worth it.
Correct.
Of all that's going around. There's no doubt about it. But when you compare how you operate and the much better results that you get for a lower amount of money, I mean, there's just no comparison.
Yeah, I wish all of our communities had the option of Catholic school, and I do understand it is a parent's choice of whether they want a homeschool or they want public school or they want Catholic school, maybe depending where they're at. But I wish we were, I don't know, blessed enough to have a Catholic school in every community in the diocese, and that just can't happen. But in talks right now, some exploration ones of a possible new junior high and high school in a community, and possible talks of down the road of a high school in another community. So pretty cool to see that there's at least talks of growth. I mean, I don't know if everything will be feasible, but there is excitement about Catholic schools in the diocese.
Yeah. And how can you not, right? With all that's going on in the world today.
It is crazy. And I taught and I coached and I was a principal in public schools, and I absolutely loved it. If you talk to anybody in the public school district I was in, I mean, I had a great job. Yeah. It was incredible. But I didn't know what I was missing until I was a part of it. And so I'm really excited that our son is in Catholic school. So
yeah. How old is he?
He's a third grader at St. Mary's in Salina. So
beautiful. Love that. Love
so
it.
He's
got
a class of about 55 kids. So it's a good size Catholic school too. I think it might be our largest class in the diocese right now. So
yeah, so good. So good. All right. So we're going to be talking with Geoff Andrews. I'm sorry. It just makes me really nervous when the phones aren't ringing. So I'm going to give out the number one more time, because I'm really trying to get that 33rd pledge of the day and trying to get over the $10,015 so that we do better today than yesterday. So 785-621-4110. It's all for the good of Catholic radio, which, if Catholic radio is good and strong, then the community is good and strong because you're being fed. And I know you are right. The generosity of those in our listening area is amazing. And so, come on, let's get over the $10,015. Let's do better today than yesterday. Talking with Geoff Andrews. He is talking about Salina Diocese Catholic Schools. He is the superintendent of Catholic schools for the Diocese of Salina. So, we've talked a little bit. Go ahead and start filling me in. There's a call. Praise God. So fill me in on.
That's our $1,000 donor right there. I think.
I'm waiting. I'm telling you.
No, I will say though, it is nice that because Divine Mercy stretches further now than it has before. I mean, I drive from Colby to Manhattan. It goes out around Junction City, I think, for now. But I mean, I can get Divine Mercy radio as I drive across the whole diocese almost. So it's really, really nice to have. And, whether it's my 5-minute commute on the way to work from my house in Salina to the Chancery, I can tune in for those 5 minutes. And I think just hearing those holy moments, every once in a while. They plant those seeds and help cultivate, what we have. So I'm very grateful for Catholic radio.
Yeah. And now with the Colby station, we had somebody driving to Colorado yesterday, and I think
I heard
they
reach
said
to Burlington.
I think so.
I heard you talk about that this morning on my drive here, actually. So
yeah, there you go.
That's
there you
awesome.
Go. Yeah, it really is. It's very awesome. The Holy Spirit's definitely moving in Divine Mercy Radio. So what a blessing. All right, so we've got that caller on the line. So now I can rest a little bit easier. It'd be nice if we could get 3 on the line. That would be really cool. I always ask for more. Everybody says she's not grateful. I am grateful. I absolutely am.
I better tell my wife, honey, I made our donation, but she might call anyway, and then you double up. But
double up. We'll
I already won the book.
Yeah,
so
nice. All right. So what are some of you guys have got these talks of the new school. So what else is going on?
Springtime is busy. I jotted down some notes, but just at least right now, and it happens every year. School's so cyclical, like a liturgical year, you go, but state assessments we're finishing up. We talked about, we do usually perform pretty well on tests, and don't want to brag. I want to stay humble, but we
brag. We want to hear it.
Our state assessment results are usually pretty good, but part of that is, we have great teachers, we have great students, but we have great families too. And because the parents are the primary educator, they know it's important for our students to, put forth their best effort on these tests. So that's cool. And our teachers will be less stressed after this week because they'll have state assessments behind them. We're starting something new called ARC testing, which has started within the last couple of weeks and we'll go through next week. So ARC is Assessment of Religious Knowledge, ARK, and it's taking the place of ACRE. ACRE was a test that the diocese had done for years, but what we liked about ARC is the reporting kind of looks similar to state assessments. It's easy to follow. It will show us where each student did really well and they were strong. It'll show us areas where they could use improvement. And so it's not really to necessarily grade each kid. It's for us to look at our curriculum and assess it and go, all right, do we need to make a change? Are we getting what we want out of this curriculum? And are students getting, formed in their faith like they should? And because it was so important, Bishop has made this, we're not making the schools pay for it. We're paying for it from the Office of Education at the diocesan level. So students in grades 2nd through 12th are all going to take this assessment this year, whether you're in a Catholic school or you're in go to a public school and you go to PRE programs at your parish. Our parishes are doing it as well. So kind of good to see some unity there. And hopefully we can look at the data over the next few years and see where we can tweak or what we need to keep doing.
So the ARC, is that something that is specific to this diocese or is it across the country? Because I've not heard of it before.
It's across the country. Okay. So it's all over the place. They've got curriculum as well, and they'll come in and do professional development. We're just looking at the assessment tool of it right now. So I actually was able to have a coffee 2 weeks ago in Dallas. I went to the NCEA convention, the National Catholic Education Association convention, and the makers of ARC I met for coffee one morning, just so we could meet face to face, talk on Zoom and via email, but just wanted to see how everything was going. So
and so that speaks highly of the fact that you really want an authentically Catholic school. That's an emphasis that you're putting on the school, is that you want to track where they are with the faith and how much knowledge do they have.
I think that's important. I think our families, in the surveys we've done, the number one reason they send their kids to our Catholic schools is because of the Catholic identity. Yes, there's other things, developing the whole child and maybe smaller classroom sizes than they might get in their local public school. But the number one reason parents said they choose Catholic education is because of our Catholic identity.
So. Well, we have an update. Praise be to God. We got a phone call. So Alan and Patty Park donated $100, and they said, in quotes, "I don't know what I would do without Catholic radio." So thank you to Alan and Patty, who put some of the treasures, some of the wonderful blessings that they've received from God. And they said, okay, God, here it is. Go ahead and let the Holy Spirit work with that. So we are at $8,770. So we are grateful, and we still have work to do. Both are true. So
that's all. Patty is our principal at St. Mary's in Ellis. So
nice.
I just was over there this afternoon before I came over here. So I told the students they had their famous figures competition where the 5th graders get up and have to dress, somebody dressed up as Jackie Stiles and somebody was Kurt Warner and somebody was Wayne Gretzky, and they give their speech to the student body as well as the parents that come in. And so I was talking to the kids and I said, I'm going to be on the radio at 5:00. If you guys listen, we'll talk about St. Mary's. So
Nice.
yeah, thank you,
Nice.
Patty.
Love that. Thank you, Patty. And, again, we still have work to do, but we are so grateful. So, so grateful. Trying to get up over what we did yesterday in Collins, which was $10,015. So we want to do better today than yesterday. Number to call 785-621-4110. We also get to talk to great guests, and Geoff Andrews is our great guest right now. He is the superintendent of Catholic schools for the Diocese of Salina, talking about ARC, the assessment of religious knowledge, is one of the up and coming things that we're doing. What else do we have to talk about?
Oh, springtime means field trips. So it is. I think we all loved them as kids. And few years ago, you couldn't take field trips. You couldn't get out in the community. So to see everybody back and going strong is awesome. Last Friday, I drove to Lenora, Kansas, which is far northwest up by Norton. And Next Tech puts on Young Ameritown there, where they bought the high school and kind of made it into a community. And what was really cool about visiting was 3 of our Catholic schools all met there together and did this field trip together. So the 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders from Sacred Heart in Plainville, Sacred Heart in Colby, and St. Joseph's in Oakley met there. And for 2 weeks before, the students do a curriculum and learn about what it means to be an engaged community member. And then they get assigned a job. So maybe they're a police officer, or maybe they run a print shop or a radio station. They had one of those there. And someone was the DJ and had to play music in the hallways. And they had a hospital. They elected a mayor. They had city rules. And it was really cool to see these students doing probably the way some of us played as kids, the make-believe and use their imagination and not be on a tablet. And they had to go use a kiosk and deposit their fake money into their account and go buy things. So field trip time is really cool. We got students going to the zoo in Salina here soon. Our students up in Hanover. So Hanover is our furthest school in the diocese, at least furthest northeast. But they'll go to Omaha for a field trip. And so a lot of really good times. High school graduation is coming up, and that's, it's one of those things that goes by really quick. And I always heard before I was a parent, like, oh, just wait, they grew up fast. And now working in schools, you remember those kids when they were second graders, and all of a sudden they're graduating. So this is my 3rd year as superintendent, and these kids that are seniors, I remember them a few years ago, and I'm like, the growth that I've seen them from 15 to 18 is unbelievable. So looking forward to hitting the road and being there for all those graduations.
Yeah, so good. And are you seeing a big influx in the Catholic schools? At all ages with all the craziness
in enrollment. We saw about a 5% increase in enrollment this school year. Some of that might be the retaining from COVID of some people that came over because, maybe public schools weren't open as much in some communities. Our biggest growth, however, is in our preschool and our kindergarten classes. So when you see growth at that preschool and that kindergarten age, that's a good sign for hopefully moving forward. If we can keep seeing these good numbers in preschool and kindergarten age, then, things are looking up for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's many years to come, right? Yeah. That's a whole lot of years to come.
And with this growth, that leads me to, we've got some projects already. I mean, St. Andrews is our school in Abilene, and it's a pre-K through 5 school there, right across from the Eisenhower Museum and Library there. But they're breaking ground next week, and they are adding a few classroom spaces, restrooms, secured the front entrance more, and then renovating the kitchen. But they're seeing kind of growth in each classroom. And so doing, I want to say, might have been a $3.1 million renovation. I don't know. Father Peter O'Donnell is doing a great job leading that parish and school. And Chris Whitehair, our principal there, they do a good job of just taking ownership of that parish school. And it's really awesome.
Yeah. So good. And so, we've got field trips, we've got ARC, we've got state assessments, we've got growth, we've got new building going on. What else? I mean, this is amazing.
I wrote a list down here. Yeah. So our parish in Beloit, St. John, so not doing anything to the school right now.
Yeah.
Because we kind of got cut short. There was a fire in the parish a couple years ago, right when Father Jarrett Conradi got there. So we have some things we have to take care of the parish, but that is hopefully opening up here in the next month or so. It is beautiful. I mean, they don't have the pews in yet, but the paintings that they've touched up during this smoke damage that came, they're able to restore a lot of things, and it's going to be awesome for that community. So we got that going on in Beloit. Over in Ellis, Father Dana renovated some office space for a teacher, and him and his maintenance guy kind of do that just together. I mean, you've got
Nice.
this parish priest that he's kind of a do-it-all. You know, he
Yeah.
built a loft for students to hang out in that's also a storage space, built an office. He renovated the basement of the church into some classroom space. And
Wow.
it's pretty cool when you see, you know, a priest who
Yeah.
can learn all that. I said, how do you even know how to do this, Father Dana?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, Geoff, if I don't know how to do it, you can find it on YouTube. He goes,
Yeah.
I'm just like the kids. I can, you know, watch a
Yeah.
how-to video. So that's
Yeah.
really cool. Junction City, St. Xavier's is a K through 12 school we have. And we are our itemless item for the auction, which is Saturday, is to renovate the locker rooms. So locker rooms haven't been touched for a while. So looking at updating that, they had updated the HVAC in that school. TMP, I think you guys had Mason Reuter, our advancement director, on this morning. So I
Very
heard him
fun.
talk about that, but the creative learning building, the security updates we're going to get going, field improvements to Cripplegate that we're going to do. Holy Family Elementary here in Hayes. I think Rachel Wentling, our principal, she'll be on tomorrow, and she can probably talk more about this because she's far smarter at this than I am. But probably talk about Precious Creations, which is our we're going to expand the pre-K there.
Early childhood.
It's there's such a need, not just, I mean, in our communities, but nationwide for childcare, which in Salina, we're hopefully working on a grant that's going to expand early childcare there too, to include infant at Love and Learn, which is our preschool on the campus, on the Catholic campus we have there in Salina. So Salina is pretty unique that on one city block, we've got a parish, a preschool building, a grade school building, and then a junior high school building, all within one city block to have one Catholic campus. So the high school on that campus, Sacred Heart, we're hoping to relocate the chapel that's been at the back of the building for years and move to the front where the library's been. So if some of us adults maybe haven't been in a high school in a while, but libraries aren't like they used to be when we were there. You know, you don't need 5 million books anymore because so much stuff we get at our fingertips now. And so because the library is right at the front of the building, we're going to put our faith front and center and hopefully renovate that and make it a chapel. And what's awesome is during basketball games, everybody's got to walk by it. You know, I'd love to see the visiting teams even go in there and walk in and the parents go check it out and just see what our chapel has. Because I think when, you know, our churches are beautiful. Yeah. And when you get to spend some time in beauty, you feel the Holy Spirit and it, you know, you're moved and ready to go. And so by moving the chapel there, we think that is going to help a lot. Wow. Manhattan Catholic, I was there on Monday morning and we just blessed the playground last week. Father Ryan McCandless went out with the students and blessed that. So they just opened it up to students, I think sometime last week. And instead of rock on the playground and gravel, they've got a nice kind of turf service and brand new playground equipment. So it is an extremely busy time in our schools, and we couldn't do it without our generous communities and our families that are all given to this to help Catholic education.
Yeah. And you have the auction this weekend, right? Is that part of the
It is
the
one.
school
Yeah,
system?
I've got 2 auctions this weekend, but I will be in Hayes. I'm coming to the TMP auction. Gonna have to miss the one in Junction City. It's the same night, but Mr. Augustine at Junction City, he got it fixed for next year. Their auction's not going to fall on the same date as the Hayes auction, so that way we can get to both. So auction at TMP this weekend. I think Friday night is some viewing party stuff, and then Saturday will be the auction. And there's a lot of great items. I mean, there's going to be 550 people there. I think it'll be the biggest auction we've ever had. So a lot of excitement.
Yeah. Oh, so good. And they were talking about, Danetta and Lester gave the big plea out there last night that anybody who wants to put in $100 for the raffle for the car, right?
I heard that to donate it.
Donate it back. How cool is that?
The intern needs a car, right?
Exactly. That's exactly right. And I guess whoever won it last year didn't need it, so they donated it somewhere. And they're saying, support both places, right? So
do it again.
So if you don't need it, maybe you do need it, but you could donate yours, or something too. I don't know, but what a great idea. It's kind of a win-win.
I'll have to talk to my wife about this because we've got a car that I'd like to get rid of. I don't know if she wants to, but I'll tell her, hey, donate it to Divine Mercy Radio.
There you go. I think that's awesome. I think it's really awesome. Well, an update, we did hear from Donna Bailey, and Donna gave us $250. That gets us to $9,020. So we are just $1,000 $200 away from doing better today than yesterday. There has got to be a hero out there that can get us over the amount, and we still have 10,965 in that matching money. So you're going to double your money with this pledge. Can you be the hero that gives us that thousand? Can you be the hero that gives us a part of it, or gets us, far surpassed? Because part of our total yesterday, when we ended up with the overall 28,060 with the match, also included some mail-ins. So get us over the top, but let's keep on going. Whatever it is, though, we can't ask for any more than the Holy Spirit is prompting, right?
That's right.
And that's really what we want. But I know that there is a need, and so that's why I keep giving the number out there. I really believe that God wants Catholic radio. It is changing lives. Anytime that God is requesting something, He's going to give us the means to do that, and it's just a whole lot of people that are banding together to make it happen. So can you be one of those people, one of the people who make this happen, who let us celebrate because we are better today than yesterday, and then we keep on moving so that we keep Divine Mercy Radio strong, strong, strong until the next pledge drive. So number to call is 785-621-4110. Donna Bailey also asked that all of our listeners, she says, God bless our nation and the whole world. So I'm assuming that she gave her $250 as kind of a sacrifice with that intention in mind. And if you have prayer requests, by all means, call us with that. We would love to have your prayer requests. Love to have thanks coming to Geoff Andrews, who's the superintendent of the Catholic schools for the Diocese of Salina. Love to support him, whether you can make a donation or not. Call in and give him some accolades and really, really share with him. You do not have to make a donation to do that. We want to support him because he's here supporting Catholic radio. All right, so let's go on talking about all the tremendously great things that are going on in the Salina Catholic schools.
Oh, let's see what else. Last week, so Catholic Diocese of Salina, we take safe environment extremely important, making sure that our volunteers, go through the background checks, and there's training that goes on that we use. And so last week we traveled to Hayes and recognized one of our safety coordinators at our school as the safety coordinator of the year. So Tracy Perret at Holy Family Elementary, who works there in the office, she's got Holy Family is our largest elementary school. So what Tracy does as safety coordinator, she has more volunteers than any other school. She's so organized what she has for the spreadsheets. She makes sure all of our volunteers go through the right protocols. She follows up with them when they're not. All of our volunteer drivers for field trips have to take a defensive driving course. They have to have their driver's license checked. I mean, it's tedious work that I think some people think, I just want to volunteer. Why are you making you do this? Well, we do it because we're protecting our students. We're protecting our kids. And even though it is tedious and it seems tough to do, and it's probably not fun for Tracy to have to be able to check all these things all the time and dot her I's and cross her T's. But Tracy was our safety coordinator of the year. So we took her to lunch last week, and it happened to be her birthday. So what a joyful day it was that we were able to do that. Also in Hayes, just this week, I don't know if our CFO is going to want me to announce this yet, but we have purchased a house here in Hayes that we will have. Everybody knows the sisters are moving to Hayes. We're getting 4 sisters from IHM in the Wichita Diocese that they are teachers. And usually across the whole Wichita Diocese, 4 of them are moving to Hayes. So we'll have 2 teaching at Holy Family and 2 teaching at TMP. Teaching our theology classes. I think at Holy Family, they're going to help in the preschool and some of those lower grades, and also go around to the classrooms and teach. But we have not had teaching sisters in our schools for a while. And so Bishop Vinke's incredible. And I was able to go with them to Wichita and sit down with the sisters and talk about all the great things going on in Hayes, and they're excited to come here. So we've got a house for them. It's right by one of the schools across the street. It's walking distance. There'll be room for a chapel. So it's just, when we started looking into this about a year ago, we didn't know if we could make it happen. There's a lot that has to fall into place, finding the teaching positions, finding the vehicles, finding the houses, and the Holy Spirit works. Prayer, and you make things, things just happen. And so
Yeah.
this is really falling into place. And so we'll start working this summer to get the sisters moved in there. And I think 3 out of the 4 sisters also attended Fort Hays State University. So it's like they get to come back to their community,
Mm.
and it's great for them to be here, because they can probably also do some recruiting for the IHM sisters, when
Yeah,
they're on
sure.
campus with Father Andy Hammocky, doing talks and all that. So
Yeah.
very excited to have them here. And also part of that, I think we'll get them going to Plainville to Sacred Heart to go talk to a class, or St. Mary's Ellis, and some of our rural schools out here in Western Kansas. So it's pretty awesome to have them here.
Truly. They've been on the air when I've been in Wichita doing pledge drives, and just really, really incredibly faithful women, and yet very approachable. I think they'll be very good with your students as
Yeah.
well.
Well, I think a lot of people have this idea of, nuns teaching in Catholic schools, and they're just going to be this stern group that's, serious all the time and are all business. All these sisters are, trained teachers that have their Kansas teaching certificate, that are,
Yeah.
that's their vocation, is they're teachers. And so we're really excited to have them here, because not only I think it's going to be good for our students, it's going to be good for the school to have them there. Imagine if you're a teacher and in the teacher's lounge, you have a sister there helping you. It's probably going to help your faith formation as well. So
Absolutely. And just the peace that they bring, and they're going to be praying for each and every one of the students, each and every one of the teachers, even the superintendent, right?
I hope so.
What a wonderful opportunity. So are they bringing in more sisters, or is Wichita giving them up?
Right now we're just having 4, and I think that was tough. Because I'm sure it's hard to find teachers right now. So Wichita losing 4 in the diocese, they're probably like, dang it. But hopefully this will help grow vocations as well, and so it'll help grow their order.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
4 for now in Hays, and I don't know, maybe 4 one day in Manhattan, maybe 4 one day in Salina, maybe 4 in Colby. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where the Holy Spirit leads us.
That's exactly what we do, and what a blessing that would be to be able. That means that their order is growing too. So, really, really wonderful information. I love that. I really, from listening to you, I'm coming in from the outside and just listening to a few of the people, but I'm telling you what, you guys really seem to have priorities in order, God first, and I think that's so important, that because when you put God first, then the other things fall into place, and I'm so impressed. Yeah.
We are a united group of schools. A lot of schools, Catholic schools across the country, kind of do things individually, in their parish schools, and they, try to keep track. As a diocese, our parishes really work well together, and our principals come together a couple times a year. We bring the teachers all together, but then we're starting to build community where those teachers know, hey, even though I'm in Colby, I'm going to email that teacher in Abilene and see what they're doing for this lesson plan, and you almost feel like we truly are all on the same team. We might wear different uniforms each day because we're at different schools, but we truly are on the same team. And I think that's part of Bishop Vinke's leadership style. He's a bishop, but he feels like the head coach or the general manager, and he makes us all feel like we're a part of this team. So one thing we're doing is not only connecting our teachers, but trying to connect our students more. So the last 2 years, we started a Respect Life convention for our high school juniors and seniors, where we brought every junior and senior from our 5 Catholic high schools together to Salina for a day of just fellowship and some faith formation. And so Father Geoff, who's at St. Isidore's in Manhattan, and Father Andy come, and they bring some of their focused missionaries and do breakout sessions with our kids. We group the students. We don't let all the students from St. John's Beloit stay together, and all the Tipton students stay together, and all the TMP students. We kind of get them rotating. And then, we've got some of these talks about relationships or studying habits or the Eucharist, everything that we can do. But then we say, you know what, now it's time to play. And we used the field house in Salina. We played dodgeball, or we played soccer, or we played knockout with basketball. And then we walked everybody 2 blocks over to the cathedral, and we had mass together. Then we had lunch together. And then before everybody left, we prayed a rosary together, and then everyone got back to their schools in time for their practices that afternoon. So we'll do that again in October. And what I love about it, these are the kids who are going to go off to college and recognize some of these kids and go, oh, well, I recognize you because I saw you at that Respect Life retreat,
Yeah.
or I saw you at Prayer in Action when we were together, in
Yeah.
Mankato doing work or wherever it might be. And Bishop said, Geoff, let's get them together in the summer sometime. And Bishop and I are both big basketball guys. I used to be a basketball coach in Salina. And so this summer on June 21st, we're going to have our first, hopefully become annual, Salina Diocese basketball jamboree. So we're going to ask our high schools to bring their varsity basketball teams, boys and girls, to Salina. Bishop will say mass at probably 9 a.m. We'll use both gyms that we have there in Salina on the campus. We'll get boys and girls games going. Each team will probably get 2 games. We'll have lunch together, prayer together, and maybe a speaker that we'll bring out to just talk and get the kids a chance to compete against each other and a chance to, grow in their faith. So, and we're inviting Hutchinson Trinity is going to come, and they're in the Wichita Diocese, but they're similar size to our school. So they're going to come. And then Hanover, which is where we have St. Joseph's, our school just goes to 8th grade there. And then the public schools across the street. So everybody goes to public high school there. And so their principal is their basketball coach at the public high school. And he's bringing the Hanover kids to Salina to compete in this. So kind of cool to just bring the students all together.
Yeah. So good. Oh my goodness. So many things going on, so many good things. And I'm so glad that we have that airwaves with Catholic radio to be able to really promote that. Because there's probably people out there listening that have no idea. They don't have a child that's school age yet, or their kids are out of school and they have no idea maybe of what's going on. And for them to be able to hear all of this and be proud of what's going on in their diocese in the Catholic schools, I think that's really important.
What I have found really impressive is the partnership our Catholic schools have with their local public school. Like, it's really, we might want to say, oh, well, we do this better. We do this better. How come you guys don't do this? Because there's things that they do that we probably wish we could do. We got public schools building brand new high schools and all this stuff, but our school leaders from both our Catholic schools and the public schools in the community are great teammates to each other. COVID brought them together even closer because you had to try to be on the same page at times. But, we utilize some of their services. Sometimes they send teachers over from the public school to our school to teach a class that maybe we needed somebody. So, and I think part of that is like the diocese truly is a community, and it's nice to see adults play well together because sometimes that doesn't happen everywhere, but it is in the Salina Diocese, and it's really healthy to see.
Excellent. Love it. All right. Well, it is time for our next trivia question. And unfortunately, we did not have an answer to the first one. So what is not a benefit of attending Catholic schools? A, students get to watch more cartoons during the school day. B, students in Catholic schools are more likely to get higher grades than peers in public schools. And C, students in Catholic schools are more likely to pray daily, attend church more often, and remain Catholic as an adult. Which one is it? A, B, or C? What is not a benefit of attending Catholic schools? That's the one from the 5 o'clock hour. The new one for the 5:30 p.m. half hour is how many of the 9 current Supreme Court justices are Catholic? That's a pretty interesting one.
Oh man, that is a good question.
You're getting out your phone.
I
You're
just
going to
kinda
Google
wanna
it,
know,
right?
yeah.
How many of the 9 current Supreme Court justices are Catholic? So is it A, 4, B, 6, or C, 8? There's a call coming in. Would love it if you donate as well. Love to have those trivia answers going. They go into the drawing that will be just really soon because we do it right before 6 o'clock. So it's coming up really soon. We'll be drawing out for that gift certificate to Messenger Traditional Catholic Book and Gift. So we would love it if you can get into that drawing with the answer to either of those trivia. We also are really, really, really trying to get over the $10,015 mark so that we're doing better today than yesterday. So we'd love to have some more donors. We're at 9,020 right now. Can we get 4 $250 donors so that each one of you goes into the drawing for the EWT and pilgrimage, among other things? Can we get one $1,000 donor? However we want to break this up, let's get the phones going and really get the full benefit of this match today and do better today than yesterday. 785-621-4110. Come on, I know we can do that. All of our listeners in Divine Mercy Radio are so generous. I say that over and over again, and I truly mean it. I get to travel around and do pledge drives, and you all respond so great. And it's for Catholic radio most of the time. It's not necessarily for our guests that's on. You're calling because you love Catholic radio. So can you keep calling? Can you keep calling? Can we at least get another $1,000 before we go back to regular programming tonight? Number again to call is 785-621-4110. Trivia question: how many of the 9 current Supreme Court justices are Catholic? So we are waiting for that call. We're waiting for the trivia answer. Please prayerfully consider whether or not you can contribute to Catholic radio. We are talking with Geoff Andrews. He is the superintendent of Catholic schools for the Diocese of Salina. Let's talk. We've talked, oh my gosh, about so much good things going on. So if you were to pinpoint one reason why you think parents should send their kids to the schools in your diocese that you're the superintendent over, what would be your answer?
I think it is because we put our faith first. I mean,
Yeah.
we are Catholic. When you walk into every one of our schools, there's no question whether or not you are in a Catholic school.
Yeah.
The way the adults treat each other, the way the kids treat each other, genuine, trusting relationships,
Yeah.
hoping to keep building on strong partnerships with families and keep building trust with them. But, our Catholic identity is first. And yes, we have, academic rigor and critical thinking skills we're teaching. But when our students are praying every day and learning about the gospel and being Christ-like to each other, I mean, that's why I'm so happy my kid is in Catholic school. So
Yeah. And even there's just no comparison. Especially, it used to be we stood out for the Catholicism, and we still do, and we're grateful. But oh my gosh, you are head over heels when it comes to standardized testing. The Catholic schools are consistently scoring much higher than the public schools.
Mm-hmm. Our ACT scores are a few points higher. Our state assessments compared to the state averages are a little bit higher. So there's all those things academically that are pointing us, trending us upward.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, man, the way you feel when you enter our schools is great. I mean, whether if I go over to TMP and they're getting out of school, if I stand at the door, every kid that walks out will greet me, say,
Wow.
"How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Have a good night." And they know that's how you treat each other.
Yeah.
Some places, I was at a local public school in the diocese, and multiple students walking through the hallways with their hoodies on and their earbuds in and looking at a phone.
Mm-hmm.
We can't teach our kids that that's how you go about life. There's a time and place for us to have headphones on. There's a time and place for us to put our hood up or something like that. But when you're around people, we need to share with each other.
Yeah.
Look at somebody in the eye, smile at them when you walk by them, and you're going to see that at our schools.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean we don't have our struggles. I mean, we've got students who struggle. We've got adults in our buildings who go through things, but when they're in that loving, caring environment, I know that we're able to help them out.
Yeah. Love it. All right. So we only have just about, less than 17 minutes, because I know they're going to come in here and do the drawing and stuff. So we probably just have about 10 minutes left. So I wanted to give you the opportunity to focus on whatever you want to focus on, but I have to give the plug out. I feel like I'm a broken record. I'm not seeing the calls coming in. So I hope you all are not being offended by the fact that I'm still trying. I absolutely am still trying. I know that there's a donor out there that can give us the $1,000. I know it. And then we would be doing better than yesterday with the called in pledges. Hopefully with mail-ins and with the match, we'll still be on track for the $125,000. We were at $28,060 yesterday. That $125,000 goal isn't just pulled out of a hat. They are seriously looking at their budget and trying to figure out where do they need to be so that they can then, continue operating and continue being strong. They're not going off the air, but they will if we don't have donations. It's a fact.
That is
So
that it all comes down to the bottom line, and
exactly.
you don't want to operate in the red. So,
Yeah.
and that's where we are with our schools when we set budgets this time of year, and all the
Yeah.
principals and our finance councils are working on that. And there's some money in savings, but you can't just always pull from that all the time, because you got to use that for capital needs and maintenance and that stuff. So, setting budgets is tough, and all of us are responsible and know that we set those numbers for what we need. And so Divine Mercy operates just like our schools do, and not on the largest budgets, because we try to make sure we can do whatever we can with what we have.
Yeah. And if you set up as a monthly donor and something happens, we know the economy is kind of crazy. If something happens during that time, you can call in and just say, I can't fulfill this. They're going to pray for you. They're not going to come let the air out of your tires, and so it's really important to know, it was Mother Angelica who said something like, sometimes we have to do the ridiculous to allow God to do the miraculous. And I think that is so true with Catholic radio. And sometimes for many of us, $30 a month is ridiculous. For others, it's more like $100, $300 a month, and we do, I don't know about here in Divine Mercy, because I don't see all of that, but we do have donors with Catholic radio that they give $300 a month. That's not unheard of. And so really, whatever it is that is your sacrifice, it's equal sacrifice, not equal gift. So what is your sacrifice? What is your level? And then give us a call, whatever you can do. We really are trying to get that last 1,000 so that we are doing better today than yesterday. But the truth is, we want whatever the Holy Spirit wants. So whatever you're being prompted to do, that's what we need. Monthly donors bring this up really quick, and all you have to give is that first monthly donation. $30 a month is pretty golden, because most people can figure out how to give up $1 a day. With your low budget, $10 a month is paying for 1 hour of programming on one of the stations. That's amazing. That truly is amazing. $50 and you pay for all of the stations, 1 hour of programming every month. More than that, because it's $48 for all 5 stations.
That's a great way to put it. You break it down like that, and can all give something.
Yeah, we all can. We absolutely can. So what can you do? If we can get some monthly donors in here, we can get over this $1,000 mark, get over the $10,015 mark. So give us a call, whatever you can do, 785-621-4110. We're going to give the rest of the time to Geoff to really feature anything that we haven't talked about yet, or even if we have, if you want to reiterate it. We're talking with Geoff Andrews. He is the superintendent of Catholic schools for the Diocese of Salina. So what do you want to feature for the rest of this hour?
I think there might be a couple things I might be able to touch on, but one thing that's really been on my heart that I've been praying about is, starting a Catholic junior senior high school as early as this coming August in Wilson, Kansas. So Wilson, Kansas, small community on I-70 that we all drive by all the time as we're driving through here. It's the Czech capital of Kansas. They've got the large Czech egg. They're in a school district with a community that's about 23, 24 miles away, and that school district operates 2 high schools. And financially, right now, their school board decided to close one of those high schools, and it was the one in Wilson. So this is the last year that Wilson will have a junior senior high school. So as a diocese, we're looking of, what can we do? How can we help the community? Can we make that school a Catholic junior senior high school? And it's really hard. It's a heavy lift of what we're trying to do with very little time, but looking at, because it's a K through 12 building. So this would be extremely unique. You would have in this building a pre-K through 6 public school, and then a 7 through 12 Catholic junior senior high school.
Wow.
We would share a lunchroom. We would share front office staff. We'd share custodian. We'd split monthly utilities. The junior senior high school part would be Catholic, when you'd walk in. Now, we couldn't have our, pictures of saints or have, crucifix on the public school side. And, but we're going to try and make a go of this and see if it's possible. Work closely with the parish there. So it's been nice. Our former superintendent who retired, Dr. Nick Campagnon, is still a consultant for the district and extremely, extremely helpful and a mentor to me. Him and myself and our CFO and our assistant CFO and our vicar general, Father Fred Gatchett, I've been doing some work on this and trying to see what we can do. So I have a meeting tomorrow afternoon with a Wilson alum as we talk about some of these things. And if this doesn't happen, it'll be unfortunate. It is going to be tough, but a lot of these students then don't have a school in their community. And in rural Kansas, if you don't have a high school, your community starts to kind of dwindle and people don't move where there's not a school. So we'll see what will happen. And some of the students will have to drive to Claflin, which is where the school district is that they're a part of. Or some of them are hurt by being close. So some of them might not go there. Some might drive to Ellsworth. Some might drive to Russell, Sylvan Grove, something like that. But there are 73 junior, senior high schoolers there right now. If we can pull this off, I don't know if all 73 would go to a Catholic school, but we'll see what we can do. So
do you have the statistics on how many of them are Catholic?
I think about 30 to 40.
Okay.
So.
And what's your minimum that you can operate on?
We would need about $600,000 each year.
Yeah. So if we're
smaller schools are tougher.
7,000 a student, right? Is what you said earlier.
That's the average for like an elementary and high school. I mean, we're probably looking at $13,000 a kid, and you can't put that all on tuition.
Yeah.
And in rural Kansas, you can't even put a third of that on tuition.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. So it would take, us doing a lot of fundraising and not just within the community, but maybe alumni who are at other places doing it. So, well, we're going to see. And what is unique about this? I mean, it is this school shares a parking lot with the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
So the school is already basically on the same city block as the parish hall, the church, and the rectory.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Could be pretty cool. And that's just one of them, and that'd be soon. And then another one is have a meeting on Friday as we start. This is very, very, very early in the process, and would love to see it happen maybe in the next 10 years, but looking at a Catholic high school in Manhattan. So Manhattan is one of the larger towns in our diocese. We've got a strong pre-K to 8 school. They did have a high school there up until I think 1986, and it closed down. So there is some momentum and a talk of wanting a Catholic high school in the community again. So we've started early talks on that, but if we're going to do it, we want to do it right. And we're going to need 30 to 40 acres to build. We got to figure out where we build because we butt up right next to the archdiocese there once you cross over the county line. So I don't know. But.
Wow. Exciting. That's very, very exciting. And you heard it here first, right?
That's right.
That's pretty awesome. I want to say a huge thank you to Tony and Chris Gable. They gave $250, and they said that they are hoping that we get the last amount needed in order to get over that mark of the 10,015. So we're just $750 away from that. Can you be the hero that gives us that $750 to get us over that bump so that we're doing better today than we did yesterday? Again, the number to call is 785-621-4110, but you got to call quick. We will stay during, after the 6 o'clock hour. We will absolutely stay and take your calls. But if you want us to announce it on the air today, you need to do it quick because they're going to be coming in here for the drawing as well. So please give us a call. Can you give the full $750? Can you give any part of it? Number to call is 785-621-4110. And thank you to Tony and Chris, who were willing to give up some of their treasure, and all of our donors, but they're the most recent who really want to help us to do better today than yesterday. So again, 785-621-4110. We are talking with Geoff Andrews. He is the superintendent of Catholic schools for the Diocese of Salina, giving us so much good information. And so we will just let you keep giving us good information, or maybe talk about the auctions again, since that is this weekend. We want to have as much support for that as we
got
can.
2 auctions going on this weekend, one at St. Xavier's in Junction City and one at Thomas More Prep Marion in Hayes. So hopefully, I bet if you just talk to somebody next year, they're attending one of those, because they're going to be pretty big, awesome events. But wanted to give a quick legislative update. I'm sure everybody listens to the 5 o'clock hour hoping to hear about government stuff. But as superintendent, I try to keep a pulse of what's going on. And, at the state level, we heard of education savings account. And, it's been whispered the last few years and not much momentum. And Governor Kelly did veto it, which was expected. We expected her to veto it, and we don't have enough override power in the legislature right now to override this veto. But I think there's good momentum within the state of Kansas that I think we will see education savings accounts set up within the next 3 to 5 years, which could mean families getting, $5,000 per kid to send to their school, which, our cost of education to run a secondary school, it's about $11,000 per kid.
Yeah.
And, tuition is not that at any of our schools, but if parents got $5,000 to help aid in that, that would be huge. It'd be huge for our elementary schools as well. So maybe in the next few years, we will see that. Some funding wise things that we're able to do within the diocese, we've started an SGO, which is a scholarship granting organization through the state of Kansas. It's a tax credit scholarship. So donors to this, you have to be $1,000 minimum donor, but you get a 70% state tax credit.
Wow.
So we've probably raised almost $100,000 these last couple of years that we're able to then help with students who qualify. So to qualify, it'd have to be a student transfers from a public school that is on free or reduced lunch. So a lower income student, but that helps them throughout with their tuition or their cost of education in Catholic schools. So something, it's young. We've barely started this, but hopefully we can keep momentum going. People, donors like the tax credits. So that's really nice. And there's possible expansion of that. So if anybody's interested, you call the foundation office, the Catholic Foundation at the Chancery, and Lori and Katie and the team will get you going on that. So.
Yeah. Excellent. Oh my gosh. So much good information. I am thinking they need to get in here pretty soon for that drawing, because we just have 4 minutes left. But in the meantime, we just keep on talking and keep on begging. We are just 700. I added it up, $746 away from doing better today than we did yesterday.
Maybe if someone gives that $750 and puts us over, they can come be our next guest on our Three Bald Guys podcast. I had to put that shout out somewhere in there with Bill Mayer, who will be on tomorrow sometime, I think, and Father Jarrett Conradi. We have a podcast called Three Bald Guys that we just kind of talk all good things in the diocese, giving us energy and what's on our heart and who we're praying for and the good things we've seen. So we try to do a couple times a month. So
how the heck did I miss that? Right.
Well, on your way home, you better put three. I figured I'd better talk about our schools and not this.
Yeah.
But we even have a little podcast room at the diocese now that we've got, soundproofing on the walls.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, you have to come to
studio,
huh?
Yeah. I've seen some of your podcasts. You guys are having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so who is it that's on tomorrow? And I'll have to pay attention tomorrow. Who's on the three?
Bill Mayer is on tomorrow, right? Or is he on
tomorrow morning? Yeah, tomorrow morning. He's going to be on at 7:00 in the morning. He'll start the morning.
We'll talk about his three Bold Guys podcast. So
we had Jason Everett on a few weeks ago. Nice. So I know you guys had him on the hour or 2 hours before me, but he came on and we promoted the event in Victoria. So
nice. All right, so we are ready to draw out for the messenger traditional.
Let Jeff draw here, see who our winner is for today.
Nice.
Go ahead and read the name.
Allie Beasley.
Allie Beasley, congratulations. She will get
nice.
the $50 gift certificate to the messenger.
Excellent.
Right.
Thank you.
I'll tell you where we stand as of right now.
Okay.
Today we took in $9,370. And then, so we'll double that for the match for what we started with this morning. We're at $46,800, and matching funds left over will begin tomorrow morning with $10,615.
All right, so you're $100 more than what I am, and you are almost always. The
I know,
one that's
where
right,
that's at. I'll tell
and,
you later.
so,
Yeah, I know where
so,
that's.
I'm
it's
kind of doing
it's
this
this
all
guy.
on the fly,
It's this guy right
Oh,
here.
there
We
you
didn't
go.
send that in. He came
Okay.
in with the book and showed you, but that's
All right.
where it is.
So, dear listeners, what that means is we are just $646 away from doing better today than yesterday in the called-in pledges. So, come on, can we get somebody $50 a month for 12 months? That gives us the 600. You know, I'm a pretty generous person, right? I'll kick in that last 46. I hope all of our listeners know. I really will kick in the 46, but I'm kidding about the generous. But if we could get right now a $50 donor, I'm going to kick in that last so that we are doing better today than yesterday. It is so important to me that we continue to do that and that we build every single day. So can we get a $50 donor? We will take calls even when we're off the air. But the number to call is 785-621-4110. We have been talking with Geoff Andrews. What a blessing. Oh my gosh, you guys have got so much good things going on with your Catholic schools.
We
what
do.
A
Yeah, we really
blessing.
do. We're blessed. We're blessed.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of good, faithful Catholics here.
Yeah. It's a great diocese.
All right. So are we ready to give station ID?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we are at the top of the hour. We'll be going back to regular programming until tomorrow morning. Again, the shout out, $50 a month right now, or a 600 one time. I'll kick in the rest. Top of the hour IDs. Go ahead.
I was going to say, we'll be here about another 10 or 15 minutes before we close shop and get out of here. So we will answer the phone.
Come on, we can do it. 101.7 KJDM, Lindsborg, Salina, 105.7 KMDG Hayes, 88.1 KRTT Great Bend, 88.1 KVDM Hayes, and 89.1 KGOH in Colby.
All right, we will switch back to the network now and tune in to EWTN.